Mississippi leads the nation as the #1 murder state in America. Imagine murder rate that's nearly 4 times higher than California's. I mentioned Arkansas. How about Tennessee? Alabama. Alabama's top 3 murder states in America. Where's the President of the United States? I thought he cared.
I have more clips lined up for us of Gavin Newsom absolutely torching Donald Trump for his hypocrisy, lies, and corruption. So if you can, take a moment, leave us a like on the video. It helps us out a ton. We're trying to get to 50,000 subscribers, and let's get right to the breakdown.
If he is to invest in crime suppression, I hope the President of the United States would look at the facts. Just consider Speaker Johnson's state and district. Just look at the murder rate that's nearly 4 times higher than California's in Louisiana. This is Speaker Johnson, 4x higher. I'm just offering, again, you've not seen this on Fox News, so President may not be familiar with these facts. So I want to present some facts to the President of the United States, and imagine this is alarming to the President to learn these facts, particularly Speaker Johnson.
He is correct in what he's saying here. I do want to start again by pointing out crime is largely driven by income inequality, poverty, and opportunity. In densely populated areas, you do have more opportunity, which is why you can see these crime trends in larger cities that tend to vote blue. But income inequality and poverty is driven by conservative policies, and you can't lie or mistake that. Look no further than red states and cities that are drastically poorer than blue ones if you need evidence, which is, again, why we see high violent crime rates in these red states, along with the opportunity there being provided instead by the ease in purchasing a gun. That's why violent crime is worse in the red states, with some of it leaking to blue areas through the iron pipeline. But in blue areas, what you see more is property crime, right? Crimes of desperation, which makes it even worse that Trump is sending the National Guard to blue cities and states only, because if anything, it's the kind of crimes happening in red areas that would call for this.
Mississippi leads the nation as the #1 murder state in America. Imagine this in particular may resonate with the President of the United States. It's got a murder rate 180%. 180% higher than Los Angeles. It's interesting. LA has more people. These are all per capita numbers. More people than Los Angeles. Perhaps the President could deploy the National Guard in every corner of Mississippi. It's the murder rate's out of control there. Carnage. And governor may want to make that phone call. Again, if they care about the issues of crime and violence. I would note St. Louis murder rate is 190% larger than Oakland. I can go on. We could talk about the carnage in Arkansas. Again, one of the top 10 murder states in America. 2.6 times greater than San Francisco. Again, these are just not just observations. They're stone-cold facts.
Republicans, of course, don't like facts. They have a liberal bias because they paint a picture that portrays their side badly, which is why you'll often see them instead do conspiracy brain rot stuff or try to politicize everything, when crime isn't really political. It's empirical. We can follow it, right? We can see what it is that causes it and what stops it and more, right? There's no reason to pretend or assume some weird things and to pretend it's like, well, that policy, that mayor was blue or that mayor was red is a misnomer and it distracts from the conversation. That gives way to falsehoods. And when you cut those out and you stick to the empiricism, what we see pretty clearly is that it is Republican policy that drives crime nationwide, but through their effects on economics, not through social policy or anything like that. They exacerbate all of the main drivers of crime while making the tools that make crime easier, i.e. guns, more accessible. Democrat cities are actually victims of this, which makes it even more messed up that Republicans try to gaslight them into being the culprits, like through no other reason than them being, again, densely populated, thus allowing the greater opportunity. And then meshed in with the exacerbated income inequality and poverty, you see the perfect blend.
But facts are stubborn things. And the fact is, Mississippi. I mentioned Arkansas. How about Tennessee? Alabama. Alabama's top 3 murder states in America. Where's the President of the United States? I thought he cared. These are his states that voted for him. His state of mind doesn't seem to be focused on the issue of crime and violence. It's about an expression of authoritarianism. He reflects and waxes, I think, 2 out of the last 3 days, talking about of being a dictator.
Newsom is really good at this, and I mostly agree. I do think it's also about political points, which is, I mean, it's key to fascism, the propaganda, right? You see this with gerrymandering as well. All of a sudden, these things are issues to MAGA because they got caught, and called out for cheating, but it's Uno reverse. MAGA cares about it, but only in the blue states that they now want to pretend do it worse, even though that goes against all data, that we have on the information. Crime, again, also by MAGA, an issue, not when Trump's pardoning violent criminals, but it is in the blue cities when they want to pretend that Democrats cause it. And you can go down the line with every topic. This is just how MAGA sees politics, which is, again, why they shouldn't have a seat at the table. If we're being honest, we need principled minds willing to take in facts and data and operate off that, willing to accept when they're wrong, right? Not people who form conclusions and then discount all data that disproves it. Trump will never do that. He'll also never send the National Guard into red states or red cities. I would say if they need it, I wouldn't be the one to say they would ever need it. But if by the criteria he's setting makes blue states need it, then the red states and cities need it too. And he'll never do that because, again, doing so would be an admission of failure, of which he doesn't have the ego ability to do.